I can already tell this video is going to be a lot to process internally. So let's get started. I can already tell some people are nervous laughing. Okay. Some of you are like literally on the edge of your seats. Like you just can't wait to see what this reading is about to open up. Like you just can't wait. All right, group number 1, 12th house. Escape. The number 36. I'm going to pull your cards first.
And then we will dive in. Group number 1.
All right, so the way that the cards are laid out, we have your main signifying card again, which is 12th house, group number 1, with escape, the number 36. And your supporting energies, we have the 8th house coming out with intimacy and ascendant with outlook. Then I have the reading split up in 3 different sections, represented by 3 different tarot cards each, leaving us with a total of 9 tarot cards. The top row is what you are still hurt by, and that is represented by the 4 of Cups, the Strength card reversed, and the 10 of Cups. You seem to be hurt by not being chosen in some way, shape, or form, or feeling overlooked. You feel like you didn't stand out in some way, shape, or form. This could manifest in your life in a plethora of ways that you may get flashes of every now and then. I feel like you are mostly beyond this chapter of your life, yet there are subtle reminders of some sort. It's like one step forward to take 10 steps backwards on this journey of trying to completely leave something behind. I see this as you trying to take on a new identity. There's a version of yourself that no longer exists, yet you still identify with this version of yourself that feels unlucky, not chosen, average, but more so below average. And this is just a feeling, okay? It could have been triggered by many different circumstances and environments. But there's still more here. What is that more? This could be processing some sort of father message, wounds. Yeah, for some, it's about a distant father figures or grandfather figures. Whether they were around or not, there was just a sense of not feeling welcomed or encompassed or embraced by these types of energies. You may feel a constant need for validation or competition in some way, shape, or form due to this wound here. So you may find it hard to develop certain friendships, or it's something about getting over some hill. Again, like that one step forward, taking 10 steps back. There's this feeling of never being able to achieve some sort of level of a connection or a relationship, whether it be platonic or romantic, because of some sort of wound or lack in one way or another. It seems like this energy was always busy with other people, places, and things. Again, you feeling not chosen or overlooked or average or beneath average. But for a lot of you, this really starts at home. Yeah, the bottom of the deck, 5 of Swords, 5 of Wands, 4 of Swords. Always trying to figure out how to one-up, or always trying to figure out how to, even if it's not in direct competition with someone else, just always seeking for more, leaving you dissatisfied. This could even be the result of someone leaving in one way or another. Someone could have, the third party could have been somebody's cup. There was a hair on my tongue. But yeah, the third party could have been somebody's cup, you know, like they were just always sipping on that drink, you know. Some of them it's a cell phone, for others it's work. But this is what you seem to still be hurt by, is just not being chosen, or not being the favorite, or not always having 100% of what you feel you deserved. You always felt like this is what you deserve, and you always felt like you got less than what you deserved in whatever aspect or circumstance, or this could have been across the board. So taking a step forward, so that we can help ourselves heal from this. We're going to talk about how we are helping ourselves build this fantasy to believe what it is that we believe to be hurt by at this point in time. You resonated with what I just said, or else you should not be watching this reading. If you didn't resonate with the what you're still hurt by, if you weren't vibing with that, most likely this isn't your reading. So save yourself the worry, the drama. Save it for their mamas. But now we're going to talk about, again, the fantasy that we are building around that storyline that we are resonating with. And when I say fantasy, I mean we're romanticizing something that is less than helpful or favorable in our life. So let's help ourselves out by painting it differently, shifting our perspective, if you will. I'm being brought back to your 8th house, intimacy and ascendant outlook cards. You're being called to put your chin up, shoulders back, practice etiquette, confidence and self-control, discipline. This group here, I'm seeing this vision of like your hand being slapped as you're like trying to grab something and it's like being snapped away. So you might need to tell yourself no to certain things more often. Okay, yeah. So your second row of the fantasy that you're helping yourself build around this, okay? We have the 6 of Cups, the 4 of Pentacles, and the Sun here. I'm seeing this energy of not letting go, not letting a certain aspect of yourself grow up, okay? Or not disciplining yourself enough in some way, shape, or form. There's like this inner child energy throwing a tantrum, and we keep letting it happen. Okay, we keep actually we're watering this seed actually, and we're letting it sprout and grow. We're encouraging it. That's how we are painting a fantasy around it. We are encouraging a tantrum right now. Now this tantrum can manifest in your life in many ways. Okay, Spirit, please help me to connect to the viewers of how to paint the picture of a tantrum in everyday life. How you are adding insult to injury in this case, how you're adding to the fantasy by encouraging the tantrum. It's something here about letting yourself have it even though you should not. Knowing when to say when. Being that parent to yourself to say, no, you already had some earlier, so let's not do it again until this time. Okay. So you may find yourself in a flouncy, laissez-faire energy a little too often in some cases, because you are subconsciously trying to, all right, we're getting a little into the call outs, trying to make up for what you feel you, remember we talked about this is the deserve bar and you felt like you were down here. You're making up for what was missing, what was never provided for. It's like it's like you had this revelation, say like, yes, I was right. Like this feeling wasn't right. It's like you grew up, had this epiphany and realized like you absolutely deserve to feel how you want to feel. There's nothing wrong with how you feel based on your perspective, your treatment, your environment, your circumstance. You accepted that, and I think you may have built a home around yourself. And I'm really seeing Spirit saying you built a tower around yourself based on this pity that you take on yourself because of something that occurred in the past. All right, we're getting in there. We're getting in there. All right. This is digging up something for all of us. Okay, so let's expand. Do we need to expand there? How are we? Someone's like, no, I don't need no more expanding. You got me there. The fantasy. How are you adding insult to injury? Yeah, there's this need for firmness. Again, they're bringing me back to the 8th house and ascendant, holding that chin up. You don't get to hold your chin up and have this form of status, this pride, even. Yeah, Leo, Sun. You don't get to have this sense of pride here without a little firmness, without a little oomph. You don't become successful. You don't do great things without a little oomph. You know, like getting that person in line, getting yourself in line, keeping yourself in check, getting that person in check. There's also this balance here between needing to be parent and friend, but mostly parent for those of you that have children. Look at that, the 4 of Cups. Ah, see, yes. Okay, so for some of you, you're repeating this. If you have children, letting things fly when they shouldn't. Yeah, Spirit's really digging in there because it's the 4 of Cups. It took us back to, you're still hurt by this. And so you're painting this fantasy to be like, oh, baby dear, you can have whatever you like, you know? And it's like, okay, it's cute until it's not cute anymore, okay? Because that child has to grow up one day, okay? And this is either an actual child or an aspect within that resonates with the inner child. Okay, I know I was stepping on a couple of toes. I know I felt something. I felt something go crunch under my foot. But now let's move into the solution. How you can help you. Being represented by the Worlds, the Hermit reversed, and the 3 of Swords. Saying that it is what it is, and this is not it anymore. I know it sounds like I just said a lot of fluff, but if you really run it back, I promise you I said enough. You have to tell yourself, like, yes, I had this sad story, this sad beginning, this sad. It was sad. Yes, it was sad. But now, okay? We're not talking about what it was, because that ain't what it is. It is what it is, and it ain't that anymore. Look, the Death card is at the bottom of the deck for you, baby. It is what it is till it ain't. And it ain't that story anymore. It's literally not that story anymore, so why would we even... That's not our reality anymore, so why are we... What is there to talk about? And it's not to say that you're not going to have the feelings that you feel. Because you can't make the feelings do anything but a little jig through and let it do what it do, you know? But it's mind over matter. You could let yourself feel like, oh yeah, that hurt my feelings, that did that. But you could still be telling yourself, but that is not my current reality. Even if you feel like it's your current reality, remember, we're shifting perspective. You're helping yourself paint the fantasy if you feed into that being your current reality. We don't want to feed that fantasy any longer. We want a new one. We're cashing in for a new one. Thank you. And it's not even, for a lot of you though, it's not even about cashing in for a new one. It's already, you're already existing in a different place. It's just that your mindset is still back there. So now it's just about getting caught up. That's what trauma will do to you. It'll put you back. It'll set you back some time. For some of you, it could be 4, 6, 8, 12, 13 years that you feel. But let me help you by reassuring you this. There's really no such thing as time. The longer you sit there and dwell on time, the more time passes you by. But I'm going to go ahead and move on into the next group. I've spent lovely, intimate time with you, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I surely have. I'm off to group number... Group number 2, Saturn return, age the number 50. I am going to pull your cards first, and then we are going to talk about what it is that is haunting you so that we may heal it. Okay.
Alright, so group 1, I'm sorry. Alright, so group 2. Saturn return, age with the number 50.
You have Uranus with revolution. You have Pluto with transformation. And we have the tarot cards in a 9-card spread that is organized by 3s. The first 3 represent what you are still hurt by. The second set of 3 represents how you are alluding to the fantasy, how you are adding to the fantasy, how you are adding insult to injury. And then finally, the last set of 3 is about how you can help yourself. So let's go ahead and start off by directly channeling the energy so that we can make sure you're in the right place. If you don't resonate with this initial message, this is most likely not your reading, and maybe try a different group, but maybe this reading just isn't for you. So let's go ahead and get into it. What group number 2 still seems to be hurt by is some sort of opportunity or chance that you feel passed you by, most likely because of age and or weight class. Or you only had a certain amount of time to do it and you ran out of that time. Like maybe you had to accomplish this or complete this within 8 years or 12 months or something like this. Or something is usually done by this point in time. You're feeling like you missed the mark. You may be in this energy of like just knowing what you could have accomplished in that time already. There's like this desire to want to go back in time. Most specifically 8 years. Or within a decade. Yeah, there's this deep infatuation with fears of mistakes that group number 2 just seems to be drowning in. It's okay to feel that way. You can't control how you feel. All you can control is what you do from here. And there's so much power in the now. That's why you have the Emperor at the center of the entire spread here. Above all, the power is right here. My third eye is kind of like trying to hijack this reading, but I want to stay on track because our next set of 3, this reading is probably going to move a little bit faster. This next set of 3 is representative of how you are adding insult to injury or adding to the fantasy. And if we are going to fantasize something, we should fantasize something in our favor, not in our discomfort. So how you are currently alluding to this fantasy, adding to the fantasy, you kind of beat yourself up every time you try something. Like you do something for the first time and instead of celebrating it, you're like, you should have been doing that, or you should have already known how to do that. When we need to focus on the now and where we can go from here. I just saw this woman's Instagram post. I'm not sure of her name. If I find it, I'll let you guys know, okay? But she literally made a post about just restarting her life at 50 years old. Her hair is fully gray, and she's been discovered as a model, I believe, or something like that. And she said that she feels like she's starting over at 50 years old. There's so many stories like that. And this emperor here has nothing but gray hair. So there's a correlation. You are also feeding into this fantasy because you glorify what you were capable of in the past, or what you looked like in the past, or how much you weighed in the past. And it kind of shizzes on the fact that you're doing anything now. Because if you were those things, something tells me you either still are those things or can become those things again. Maybe not in the exact form. But there's a need for this group to also embrace balance and equilibrium. And embracing change in balance and equilibrium. One blessing can be just as big as the next, even if it comes in a smaller box than the other. But if you put them on a scale, if we have to compare, they both weigh the exact same, but yours just came in a smaller box, but the blessing matches. But you're over here gawking over the past or this present over here because it's bigger, but they literally hold the same amount of value, weight, gold. So you are adding an insult to injury by making it seem as though this past version of yourself is unattainable, or something just doesn't make sense, or telling yourself that you're wasting your time. If time is all we have, then none of it can be wasted. Literally, all you have is time until you don't have time. And by the time you don't have time, you're not worried about having time. So you might as well just devote your time to whatever you want to devote it to. This group has a very straightforward and serious energy about them, but I respect you. I really respect group number 2. There's something, I don't know why you needed to know that, okay? Now, moving on into the last set of 3 cards, we're going to talk about how you can help you. Being represented by the Tower, Temperance, and the 7 of Wands. I'm over here shuffling these cards really with no reason because I don't need any clarifiers, but the Hierophant wants to come out as we are addressing how you can help you. You're being called to destroy something, recreate it, and then do it again, like build it up again. How you can help you. The Hierophant, commit to something, break it down, reconfigure it, and then keep working. There's something here about break it down to as small as you need to, but never destroy it. You could literally break it down to the last pebble, but do not destroy that last pebble. You always have to work with some aspect of it. There's something here about history meaning something. Your knowledge, your wisdom, it means something. So you could break your life down to everything that you need to do, but always remember the wisdom that's under your belt, the wisdom that you have attained, because you have this age on you, because you got this thing on you. Use it to your advantage. Nine of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Stop being so timid. Ten of Cups. And I say that with as much respect as I can. And no, okay, so that's how you can help you. That's literally Spirit saying stop being so timid. So, and the Two of Swords came out when I said that. Stop judging yourself so harshly. That Two of Swords wants to say more. What is it? Ice Princess. So it wants to say more but won't say more. Oh my gosh. Matched with the Nine of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Need I say more? Apparently the message has been delivered. You literally have double Nine of Wands at the bottom of the deck here. It's showing up as like literally the Nine of Wands is on both sides of me. Meaning you can't go back and you can't go forward. So all you have is what's right here. What can you do with what's right here? It's interesting, they're showing me this evolution of these center cards, how the Eight of Swords is in red clothing and all tied up in it, and then ascends to the Emperor right beneath the Eight of Swords, who's wearing that red with pride as a sash, and then beneath that, who has ascended to Temperance, and you see the only red thing in this card are the wings. What you once wore as handcuffs became your sash of pride, which became your wisdom. The very thing that you ran from or shames you is going to be the very thing that crowns you. And you have to know this. And that is that on that. I want to know, group number 2, how many Capricorns are here? Or if you have like prominent Capricorn placements, something about Capricorn, let me know. Because I'm picking up on heavy Capricorn. You could have like Capricorn Mercury. Alright, but I'm going to head on over to group number 3. All of a sudden, I want to use an accent. Aquarius. I know, the number 23. Group number 3. I'm going to pull your cards first, and then we will get into your reading. Group 3. You might have been scared to come here. I promise you this reading is going to be a lot more lighthearted than you anticipated. Okay, group number 3 with Aquarius, I know, the number 23. You have Jupiter with expansion and Aries with the radical. Oh, the places you'll go. Oh my gosh, the places you'll go, the things you'll do, the people you'll see. Oh my gosh, I need to see this. Jupiter, Aries, this is the soonest I needed to call for clarification. I usually don't even care about that in these readings, but my goodness, what is that? Five of Cups, Page of Wands, Ace of Cups. This is talking about your dating life in particular. I'm just gonna jump the gun here. If you're not here about love, relationships, advice in that area, this is not your reading. So try a different group. But this is really talking about the people that you will encounter. I'm saying it's lightweight, okay? With Five of Cups, Page of Wands, Ace of Cups, it's like serial new beginnings, but they're spread out over time, because with the Five of Cups here, it lets me know that, I shouldn't say serial, but anyways, with the Five of Cups, it lets me know that there's real true feelings and intentions here. So when things end or things don't go well, you do feel it. So there's truth in these, which is why we have Aquarius with I know the truth. I know the truth of this connection. I know the truth of these feelings. But I'm getting there's a but in there, and that's what is drawing me to our first set of 3 cards, which tells me what you are still hurt by. It's the perfection of the possibility. It's the perfection in the potential. That's what you're still hurt by. Yes, indeed, it is true that you were good for them and they were good for you, but at the same time, you also know that there is another truth. With the Six of Swords at the bottom of the deck for you, the truth is that there's more for you. This is cliche, but there's more fish in the sea. Spirit understands what you're saying and how you're feeling. They feel it. We feel it. It's real. But let's talk about how you are fueling that fantasy. This is how you are adding fuel to the fire. How you are dwelling in the hurt. When instead we want to pull ourselves up, pick ourselves up out of the dirt, dust ourselves off, and move on, move forward. But you are stuck in this woe is me. And I was smiling to myself, because when these cards came out, it was like, oh, I'll never find love again. And it's like, there's so many people in the world. You will find a new friend. You will find a new coworker. You will find a new lover. You will find a friendship in a new pet. You will find a new friendship in this. You will find a new friendship in that. So you're painting the fantasy because you're making it seem like, oh, I will never find another. And maybe you won't find another them, but you will find another that can inspire great emotions. That can make you feel safe. That can make you feel loved. If there's one, there is plenty. May not be the exact same, but there's something to love about many different things that simply do not relate. You can love chocolate and shoes. They are completely unrelated. Yes, the chocolate is your ex, and now we love shoes. Who is your current new boo? That was a terrible example, but you get what I'm saying. You can find a love for both. The fantasy that you're existing in is like, oh, I'll never find another. And Spirit's like, bro, if you just like go 20 minutes that way, you literally will. So we just need to think in the other direction here, instead of thinking backwards, like, oh, what could have been, should have been. Seven of Cups at the center of the reading is saying, this is where we are, and where we are has a lot of options. So let me shop around. Let me see what I want to do. Like, I got expensive energy. I need to figure out where I want to spend it. It's going to take some time for me to decide if it's worth my money, my time, my effort, my energy, or if I want to move on. Now, speaking of moving on, how can I help myself heal? That's what the last set of 3 cards talks about, and we are representing that energy with some double energies. Ace of Cups already came out when we were clarifying the Jupiter and Aries energy, which lets me know that how you can help yourself heal is by getting yourself out there, babes. Putting yourself out there to remind yourself that there is more. This does not mean that you have to go on a date every other day. You can go as little or as frequently as, or as often as you want. But just do it from time to time to get the momentum feeling right, to get the energy flowing, to remind yourself of where you're going. Look at that. Okay, because that's what's going, oh, remind yourself of where you're going. As the Hermit comes out here, and I was looking at the High Priestess down here as I said that. You putting yourself out there in a way helps you to further narrow down the list that you are creating when it comes to attracting the perfect partner for you. Just, there's something here about this. Keep skating on, because there's more to discover. That Jupiter expansion in Aries radical, you still have yet to discover something that you need in a relationship for it to succeed. You have yet to discover that about yourself. There's something here that you have been practicing in relationships that doesn't work for you. It's not truly who you are. Look at this. Judgment and the Sun are at the bottom of the deck. It's like the light of day. So just keep on living. Keep on dating. Keep on putting yourself out there. Keep on following your flow. And then you will know just where to go. Wow, what powerful energy we have here. Extremely powerful energy. This is all that I have for my group number 3s. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm sending you so much love, so much life. And until next time, take care, be well. I'm off to group number 4. Oh, let's see. Group 4, air element. Communicating, the number 39. I'm going to pull your cards first. Group number 4, air element, communicating, the number 39. So I'm going to start off with 3 cards that collectively let me know what you're still hurt by. Behind that, we'll follow up with how you could be adding insult to injury, how you may be adding fuel to the fire. And instead, we would like to help ourselves. So how you can help yourself will be expressed in the final 3 cards. So, I want to immediately open up with, I feel as though this group here may be hurt by a missing or wounded mother figure. Yes. Ooh. Missing, wounded, both, none of the above, something like that, all of the above, anything like that. For some, it could be a very messy situation in work or love life. For a lot of you, you felt like you were talking to a wall growing up. You felt misunderstood. You felt like the only time you were put on a pedestal was when you were doing something you hated doing, or when you were being humiliated. Something about, you felt like you were only being praised in something about humiliation or something. Okay. No, I'm not gonna go there. For some of you, this is about physical, mental, emotional, so on and so on, sorts of misuse and abuse and things of that nature. Again, I'm not going to go into details, but if you know, you know, then you're in the right space, you're in the right place here. And this is not me grazing over any sort of topic at all. It's me respectfully including it without going too deep. Because if you know, you know. For some, there's physical harm done. There's a lot of heaviness in this group. It is. And so, how you are currently feeding into that fantasy, that unhealthy illusion, how are you feeding into it? How are you feeding into it? You are directly avoiding, ignoring those times when you felt that you were put on a pedestal, or when you felt you were, okay, so something about, or this humiliation. So this is a normal feeling in life. Like whatever this is that you felt like you were put on a pedestal for, the only time you were celebrated is when you were humiliated or being made fun of or poked fun at or something like this. It's like now you completely ignore it. I need a bit more. So your lack of acknowledgement of whatever this is what is adding insult to injury. What is adding more harm than good. Okay, Spirit's calling my attention over to these bonus cards that I pulled. The Numinous Mystery and 4th House Roots. Interesting. For some of you, this is about your race, your gender, or your identity. Yes, your DNA. Because I just pulled from the back of the deck here. This is the front. I pulled from the back, and it's a repeat card of what is hurting you, the 6 of Wands. So maybe for some of you, you could have even been made fun of or had been picked fun at because of your heritage or your belief system or something like this. And now you're avoiding this, or you are disguising this, or you are just simply not talking about it or not acknowledging it. And that is how you are adding insult to injury. So let's talk about now how you can help yourself. The Fool card, the 2 of Cups reversed, and the Knight of Pentacles. Learn about what you do not know. Learn about who you do not know. I want us to take note of the reflection of the imagery in the 6 of Wands to the Knight of Pentacles. They're both sitting and mounted up upon horses. And my voice, that's always a sign of us being right on track with something. What is that connection between the two? The Knight of Pentacles and the 6 of Wands. What is the connection here? 3 of Cups reversed. There's something here about needing to learn about marriage partners and associates that you did not know about in your familial lineage. The Devil card. Okay, for some of you, it's one more. Oh, or even enemies of, okay? And now this could be like direct enemies, like specific ones, like you find them by name, or you might look back to a certain time, see a specific tribe, and know that it's the ops to this tribe, you know? Like, yeah, the Five of Pentacles. Okay, so this is again repeating that same energy. So we have been highlighting the Six of Wands because it came out twice in this deck, and now it's being highlighted with the Five of Pentacles coming out twice now, and it's clarifying the Three of Cups reverse to the Devil, to the Five of Pentacles. Definitely about some enemies or some people that were kicked to the curb. And I kid you not, look what's at the bottom of the deck. We got double bottom of the deck energy sitting at the Three of Wands. Double bottom of the deck, Three of Wands. Yeah, there's definitely, so a way that you can help yourself is by learning about your past, your history, your heritage, or whatever it is. But learning about, it's because we go back to this air element in communication. It's about the people that you know, the people that your people know. Yes, the mysteries of your past, the mysteries of your roots, the mysteries of what you don't know about who you are, your people, where you've been, where you've gone, what you've seen, what you've done. And with the Three of Wands showing up twice, I think this might be talking about on both sides of your family, your lineage, the mystery of the roots of where you come from, looking into both sides of that. Because it's interesting that I'm feeling guided to say that we're looking into but in order to know your future, you must look back into your past, point blank period. Because these two cards here are looking into the past for me. And that's significant for you to look into the future. Ooh, and then we have double Three Wands. What do you take? 3 wands and 3 wands. That gives you what? 6 wands. So you may, for some, this is very specific. Some could have been made fun of or picked fun at or always ostracized for not having something or not having this or for looking like this, for looking like that. And so you downplayed those things for so long. And now you're being called to help yourself by digging those things up now. Looking deeper into those things. To formulate your own opinion, because it will be free from fear and truly based on fact. And that is all that I have for you. Until next time, take care, be well.